All right. So as you can see by the title of this video, what I wanted to discuss today is how to reduce snacking. All right. Now, before I go any further, if you're watching me live right now, comment live down below. If you're watching me on the replay at any point in the future, whether that be later today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whenever that may be, comment replay down below. Okay. So first of all, I want to make one thing very clear, and that is that there is nothing inherently bad with snacking. Okay, snacking on its own, there's nothing bad or negative. The only time that snacking could become negative or detrimental is if snacking leads to you over consuming, basically, because we know that the overconsumption of any food leads to a lack of results in regards to weight loss, and of course an increase in blood sugars rather. So if you feel like you are often, a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for, if you feel like you are often, I've lost my train of thought here, ladies. I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't want to use the word culprit, but if you feel like this is a scenario that often plays out where, snacking does get out of hand a little bit, this today is where I want to help you regain control of that a little bit. Okay. If you feel like you become a victim of overconsumption via snacking, that's maybe what I was looking for. But, so if we want to reduce snacking, then we need to do a few things. First of all, we need to reduce our cravings, and we need to reduce any kind of struggles that we experience with increase in appetite. Okay, so let's discuss all of the different things that are going to lead to you being fuller for longer, and therefore feeling less of a need to reach for snacks and therefore experience less cravings. Okay, so first of all, one of the most important ones or things to discuss in the area of feeling fuller for longer is protein. Okay, we know that protein leads to a decrease in our hunger hormone called ghrelin, which of course leads to us feeling fuller for longer. So you've all heard that before, that protein helps you feel fuller for longer, and that's how. Okay, again, it reduces the levels of our hunger hormone called ghrelin. And if you are under consuming protein, you are going to be experiencing, daily struggles with appetite. Okay, you are going to be you're going to be wanting to snack more. You're going to be experiencing more cravings, and you are going to want to eat bigger portions. Okay, so ensure that you're consuming enough protein. For most of you ladies, in an ideal world, you want to be eating anywhere between 80 to 120 grams of protein. Okay, anywhere between 80 and 120 grams of protein. The more that you consume, the fuller that you are going to be, and the less likely you are to snack. Okay, so we've got consuming sufficient protein. We've got getting better quality sleep. Okay, now you might be thinking, how on earth does sleep correlate to snacking? And there's quite a few ways, in fact. Okay, there is a correlation between lack of sleep and increase in that hunger hormone called ghrelin, which is therefore responsible in an increase in appetite. Okay, so there is a correlation between lack of sleep and increase in appetite. You're going to be hungrier. If you are hungrier, you're going to want to reach for snacks more often. On top of that, energy is going to be impacted, mood is going to be impacted, and therefore choices are going to be impacted. Okay, so protein, getting better quality sleep. Okay, next would probably be hydration, to be honest. Make sure that you're drinking sufficient water. For most of you ladies, that should be 70, 80 ounces plus, as a minimum 70 to 80 ounces. Right, so that's a big one. If you struggle with water, consider habit stacking. Okay, stack this new habit with a pre-existing habit. So every time you walk into the kitchen every morning, which that's habitual, it happens continuously each and every day, as you walk in, fill yourself a glass of water and drink it. Every time you eat a meal, drink 20 ounces of water. That alone those two things alone, waking up with water and drinking water every time you eat a meal, is already going to land you at 60 to 80 ounces without anything in between. Okay, so we've got protein, we've got sleep, we've got staying sufficiently hydrated. On top of those things, you want to make sure that you are consuming high volume, low calorie foods. So foods that you can eat a lot of at the cost of not many calories. So green vegetables, broccoli, green spinach, asparagus, okay, other vegetables like mushrooms, zucchini, salad, any kind of salad, really. These are foods that, again, you can eat a lot of at the cost of not many calories, which are in turn going to lead to a higher level of satiety. You're going to be fuller for longer. If you're fuller for longer, then you are going to be experiencing fewer cravings and you are less likely to want to reach for these snacks. Okay. On top of all of these things, the next thing to consider would be practicing mindful eating. So this might sound a little bit gimmicky, but it's really powerful. Okay, it's really powerful. And all this involves is whenever you are reaching for a snack, stop for a minute. Create some space. Go from being in a reactive state to being in a proactive state. Ask yourself, with this snack that you got in your hand, how am I actually feeling right now? Am I actually hungry? Am I stressed? Am I tired? Am I bored? Actually think about what state you're currently in right now, because if it's one of those, then chances are you are just wanting to fill a void. Okay, especially if it's stressed or emotional or anxious or just being bored. And after that point, after you have, kind of recognized how you are currently feeling, the next question to ask yourself would be, if this were, an apple, if it were a small bag of almonds, would I still want it? This is going to be a way of identifying whether you're actually hungry. And last but not least, will I be happy in 2 hours? Will I be happy with my choice to eat this? Okay, in 2 hours, will I be happy with my choice to eat this? If no, put it down. Okay, now, again, it might seem a little bit gimmicky, but putting yourself through those 3 questions is going to take you 10 seconds. And all this is going to do is then put some time and space between you reaching for that food and putting it in your mouth, going from mindless to mindful eating. Is it going to work 100% of the time? Of course not. But if it helps 50% of the time, that's a pretty powerful tool. Okay, that's a pretty darn powerful tool. So recognize how you're feeling. Am I stressed? Am I bored? Am I anxious? Am I emotional? If this were, a small bag of almonds or an apple, would I still want it? And in 2 hours, will I be happy with my choice of eating this food? Will I regret it? Those 3 questions alone is going to put you in a state where you are more able to make an informed choice on what you are just about to eat. Okay. So how to reduce snacking? First of all, we want to regain better control of our appetite. And second of all, we want to practice, mindful eating, going from being reactive to more proactive with our choices. All right. Hope that makes sense, ladies. If that was helpful, comment helpful down below. If you've got any questions, if you've got any concerns in regards to any of those things that we've just spoken about, let me know down below. I do these to help you. I don't want you leaving any more confused than when you came. All right, ladies. Listen, have a great day, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Take care.